Your child is not in esports and social media.
We have Shanghai.
Two quick questions. One is,
Okay, so the first question.
Channel News Asia's startup is back. In season 4, the competition is bigger, grander, and far more fierce. To select our top 7, we've teamed up with Tech Venture 2016, organized by the National Research Foundation Singapore, and Slush, one of Europe's leading startup events. Over 200 startups applied from around the world, but only 30 got shortlisted to make their final pitch today at the Singapore Week in Tech, or Switch. The prize money? Up to $500,000 in seed capital. Every startup dreams of having the next big idea, of becoming a unicorn, of making that perfect exit. But 9 out of 10 startups fail before they're anywhere close. Against the odds, 7 startups from around the world compete in a challenge of their lifetime. To clinch a deal from 3 top venture capitalists, who will emerge victorious? This is Startup Season 4.
Hello, it is a brand new season right here on Channel News Asia Startup. The journey to finding the next big startup begins now. 30 shortlisted teams will be making not 1 but 2 pitching sessions, and by the end of today, we'll be unveiling who our finalists are. Our resident judges, Leslie Lowe of Red Dot Ventures, Jeffrey Payne of Golden Gate Ventures, and Kwan Su of KK Fund will be joining a specially selected panel of judges to evaluate the team. So let's get the ball rolling.
Hello everyone, I'm Abbas, the co-founder of OneList.
And like my dad likes to joke, my greatest skill is shopping.
What I'm looking for as a judge for this competition is for the founders to really tell their story. What is their passion? What is the problem that they're trying to solve? And at the end of the day, how is their solution or their product or team better than anything out there?
Confirm the pickup slot. He sent us a picture through WhatsApp or Line. We sent him a driver in less than 2 hours.
Hi, I'm Max, the CEO of PickPack, the reverse logistic platform for retailers and brands. We are showing for some retailer solutions, and for that we are here in Singapore. I was a bit impressed about the jury because they were like very interesting founders, and they asked me very good questions.
Walter is my co-founder and part-time Airbnb host. Last year, he managed 5 listings and welcomed over 300 guests from all around the world. He makes a lot of money, but he has many challenges.
Hi, my name is Anthony. I am the co-founder and CEO of Igloo Home, and we design smart locks for Airbnb hosts. We joined the competition because of the publicity that it can bring. We were at Tech Venture last year, and we saw that there were a lot of opportunities in joining a competition like this, where you are able to meet both media as well as investors that can bring your company to the next stage of growth.
So how do we make carpooling a mainstream transport alternative? I think some of the biggest problem about carpooling is that it leverages on a number of variables that are tough to crack. My name is Hugh Lim. I'm the CEO and founder of Swiftback, a carpooling platform which intelligently connects passengers with drivers. I think it feels great, like being able to be here and being able to share our vision with the people. It's just a great and positive experience so far. Running my own startup was a pretty interesting experience. I've learned so much through this journey. From the early stages of Swiftback to the growth stage, and looking at the community grow and mature is one of the most rewarding experiences that I've ever had as a founder.
My name's Alex. Our startup's called 29th Century, and we help businesses find data analysts on demand. So like an Uber for data analysts. And we're actually from Australia, and we're currently in Hong Kong. We can analyze it and find problems that she should be looking into. Because one of the biggest problems is that people don't know what the actual problems are. And with our engine, you can find always ways to improve your business. So the pitch earlier was absolutely terrifying. You know, I've never pitched in front of this many people before, so just standing up there, having all these people stare at you, that was scary.
Hi, I am Edmund from Advice Health. We're working on a biomedical device that can detect on child asthma conditions.
BioAsthma is a patented predictive device which constantly monitors your child asthma conditions. It is able to provide doctors with objective measurements so to better keep track of their treatment plans and avoid overprescription.
A-Device is a very young startup. We registered our company probably 4 months ago. But this technology has been invented by my professor, who is working on this research and development for over 7 years.
Bye,
was quite impressed with the pitch and with a lot of clarity on the problem statement. Seems to be quite clear on the solution they are going to bring to solve those problems. And they are given 2-3 minutes to pitch, and they timed themselves quite well in the pitch itself, and they've done a great job.
The heat is on, the results coming up shortly. But first, Channel News Asia Startup has been a cornerstone in the startup community, opening doors for many aspiring entrepreneurs. Remember, you can also follow the journey of our startups online at startup.channelnewsasia.com.
Channel News Asia Startup has helped many budding entrepreneurs take their business to the next level. The show has not only been a launchpad for startups, but also acted as a platform for startups to gain mentorship and invaluable insights from our judges who are also venture capitalists.
In 2014, we joined the first season of this startup. After winning the show, we expanded into school segments. So from a B2C product, we go into B2B, and we partner with one of the largest tutoring centers in Thailand.
Since the show's inception 3 years ago, our VCs have invested in a total of 6 startups. For companies like Tamcrew and Be My Guest, securing seed funding on the show helped them find new opportunities to grow.
I think being on the show really provided us the justification that the investment in us was really a well thought of process, because we had to go through the various challenges, so brought about by the judges and throughout the whole series. So that gave us validation that what we are doing, the business model and so on, and the technology, we're on the right track.
In Season 3, Salus Nanotechnologies was one of 3 finalists that clinched a deal from the VCs. Exposure from the show helped Salus earn a recognition among peers and open new opportunities.
So the show was very helpful. It was a good learning journey. We also got a little bit of recognition in terms of publicity. People were asking, hey, I saw you on the TV and what your company is doing. Some of the companies approached us and they have been asking that what are our products about. So this show kind of put us on the map. And since we have received the funding, we have entered into pilot stages of our products. We are validating our product in the market, and we are about to launch the product.
The success stories don't just end with those who win. For Season 2 finalist Mark Koh of Temploy, the newfound media publicity helped him find investors even after the TV series had ended its run. Temploy, which was at a very early stage during Season 2, has just completed another round of funding.
An update in regards to what we've been doing at Temploy lately is that we've actually been able to identify our customers much better than when we were on Startup Season 2. Now, on top of that, we actually gained quite a few corporate clients. For instance, we were very proud to be working together with Grab Taxi, was also Soup Spoon. And perhaps our most interesting one is actually the National Trading House of the Hungarian government.
Startup Buzz is running fever pitch at Singapore's biggest innovation and tech convention, Switch. Amid mounting tension and pressure, some of the very best startups from the world over are pitching to secure a spot on Season 4 of Channel News Asia Startup. 30 teams hungry for success will find out whether they have made it into the final 7.
We cannot remove infection, so the only solution is vaccines.
And more than 43,000 of parcel tracking was conducted through our system.
Compared to Season 3, where we actually offered 3 term sheets, and I said that it was the best season out of the 3 that I was involved in. This year, I feel even better. In fact, the candidate seems to be more global, more diverse from many different sectors, and they seem to be more matured on their early stage of the development. So I'm positive about the batches that we see, and I think hopefully we would invest more.
Hi everyone. We at Parcel Perform have been working in e-commerce logistics for the past 5 years. Everything is beautiful until the checkout. But what happens afterwards, it's always a bit of a gamble.
When you think about event planning, you think about a few things: fear, anxiety, and frustration. Basic research takes too much time, there's no transparency, and you don't know where to start.
There are actually thousands of fashion rental companies all around the world, including Africa, but you've never heard of them because no one has aggregated them on one platform yet. That's where Covetella comes in.
We've been seeing a lot of intense pitching sessions. What is that really like?
Well, it's exhausting,
Yeah.
going again and again and again, but it's also really exciting. And I think with every pitch I do, I become better and better. So it really pushes yourself to like reach your maximum potential.
Your position as a female entrepreneur, I mean, still, there are not that many out there, and somehow you keep on charging and getting ahead. How do you do that?
I don't know. Well, I'm a Texan, so go big or go home. And I don't really see myself as a female founder. I just see myself as a founder. And I don't really, make any excuses for this or that. We're all in this to play the same game, and if you're not ready to play, just get out.
Making international payments, the problem is well known. Number one is inefficient. Sometimes it takes T+1, T+2, or even up to T+3. So our solution is to create a peer-to-peer currency exchange platform that matches each other's currency needs.
So TransSwap is about making international money transfers faster, easier, and far cheaper. What is the solution behind this?
When we face a problem when Thai baht itself currency collapse, so at the time itself I need to send money to US for payment, and I find that it's too expensive to go to the bank. Forward become expensive, even spot rates will become expensive. So the idea came from there. Because everybody needs each other currency, why don't we do a swap with each other?
We're excited to be in the top 30. Obviously, it has been an exciting journey to go through the qualification round, to be selected from so many startups. So I've joined Simgo just over a year ago, and the journey, as it goes in every startup, there's ups and downs, there's successes, there's setbacks, but overall it has been an exciting ride, and I think we're on a good way, and we're very close to coming to a good end.
Even as the day wears on, there is no shortage of tense energy and excitement in the air. As one entrepreneur after another hits the stage, much of their performance comes down to the art of pitching.
This batch of startups, compared to the last season, I think they are very, very diverse, not just in terms of business models, but also in terms of geographies. So I think that it's made the job of the judges a lot tougher.
The key points that I was looking for was fundability, so good team, big enough market so that we can make enough returns, and very good pitch so that they can articulate their idea very well.
Does the user need to tap something, or you just bring the phone to the receiver and it's done?
Of course, there will be a button for the user to prompt that he wants to do a payment. The token will generate, and then a sound wave will be playing for the receiving end to receive.
It's been a long and intense day. 30 shortlisted teams made their final pitches, and the judges had a tough time making up their mind.
We got the winner.
And the top 7 teams to make it to season 4 of Channel News Asia Startup are Covetella, Simgo, Avis Health, Parcel Perform, Pickback, Delegate, Amazing. Coming up, as the top 7 celebrate their victory, it is time to get to work. The judges begin scrutinizing their performance at Slush.
Overall, I thought it was a great pitch. However, there were a couple things that I would have expected to see.
Most of our judges were blown away, so that's a good thing. But there were 3 things that I think you guys need to kind of add more to.
Hello there, startups. Great to see you again. Congratulations on making it to season 4 of Channel News Asia Startup. You went through some 2 intense qualifying rounds, but you still have an exciting and challenging journey ahead. Remember, you've got to impress these guys, our judges. Say hello to Leslie Lowe of Red Dot Ventures, Kwan Su of KK Fund, and Jeffrey Payne of Golden Gate Ventures. So, today what we're going to do is review your performance. It all really comes down to the art of pitching. Whether it's a small stage or a large stage, it really doesn't matter. It comes down to how you deliver. Let's get some perspective. So, Kavatella, Carol, how did it feel to be in front of such a large audience, to really put yourself out there?
Well, it was definitely an incredible experience, but I was actually so nervous that I messed up my very first sentence. Hey guys, I'm Carol, and like my dad always liked to say, my biggest skill is shopping. So then I just practiced and practiced and practiced, and once I was able to talk about my business and my passion, then I felt a lot more relaxed.
It was very exciting. After all these months of building our company, it was great to present it to that many people on stage.
Well, the experience has never been anything like we've ever experienced before, and the adrenaline in that 5 minutes was like amazing. We've got a lot of support from the audience and a lot of feedback from the judges that it's so valuable.
Today, we're going to have someone who is going to take a look at your pitching with a fresh pair of eyes. And he is none other than the TMT guru of Deloitte. Let's welcome Heath Snyder. All right, so let's take a look at how you pitched in the qualifying rounds. We have prepared a short clip, and let's get things started with Pickback.
We go pickup, it's about $5. We have another part about the quality lab. It's about, here in Singapore, $26 per hour, and we know that the product is about 5 to 10 minutes. We have the data we're sending to the brands. It's about $200.
So Leslie, was their message on point? Were they succinct? Were you able to understand what their business model was about?
I have no issue on the way they pitch, on the way they deliver. They've done well. My issue really rests with the content, right? So as investor, we look out for business sustainability, right? So therefore, the size of the market, how profitable is that engagement? So if you look at all my question is trying to either get some validation, you have somebody paying for it.
I would say I understand the concept, but there was a lot of missing pieces as to, is there a need? Is it a needs-based? Is the consumer looking for this? Or is the retailer looking for someone to fill this gap in terms of that supply chain? So I think identifying a bit what Leslie says, there is a need, and you're filling that need, and then presenting in a very succinct way how you're going to solve that challenge or that need that's in there in the market.
I'm noticing 2 things. The thing of the needs of the market, which are very important, and we have to improve it, and also work on the business case, on the business model, to be sure that there is someone who is ready to pay for our product, and this is exactly what we're going to work on.
Okay, great. Now let's see how Edmund performed in his pitching sessions. Here's Avis Health.
The prescription of asthma medication is still done in a trial and error method. This could cause overprescriptions, which further leads to severe conditions such as heart problem and depression.
Overall, I thought it was a great pitch. However, there were a couple things that I would have expected to see, especially given the nature of your product. For example, on the top of everyone's mind is probably the regulatory potential issues. My second comment on your pitch would be, depending on the situation and the audience, perhaps you can highlight some use cases.
Well, first of all, I thought it was a fantastic presentation in terms of materials, was very user-friendly for the audience. Everyone could understand what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to solve in terms of a startup's ambition. But because it's medtech, it adds a whole extra layer, as was explained, around regulatory, clinical, etc. So however much you want to keep it simple for the audience, those are topics you can't steer away from. So adding them, I think it will really build a very strong and powerful presentation and story.
There are countless use cases for this technology. It can range from payments to voucher redemption to dollar identification, but our focus is mainly on banking and payments. But we are already in talks with banks in Singapore, but talking to large organizations takes a very long time.
I think a couple of things. One is that they articulated it very well. Two, I love the demo. The demo was incredible. I think most of our judges were blown away. So that's a good thing. But there are three things that I think you guys need to kind of add more to. One is, why is this needed now? Two is your competition. I know there are competition around the world. You have to address it. And three is your current traction, whether it's with the two companies that you mentioned, and where in terms of the status of the traction so far, so that we have a better idea of where you are.
I got the message. I understood the product. I would say it's a space that you're trying to be very disruptive in, and it's proving that the technical story works. And because you're trying to deal with payments, and you then got to have a big ecosystem where security is important and matters around your alignment with the people who have the existing point of sale terminals and also the devices, the mobile devices. So it's really being able to explain in any pitch how far along you are in all those pieces of that jigsaw in terms of alignment.
Today's section is quite useful for us because we know what is the investor or VC or audience think about what is the amazing, so they give us useful feedback.
Yeah, so Jeffrey pointed out 3 questions. So it's 3 very important questions that we have to address as the company goes forward. So yeah, for us to expand our market, these 3, especially why are we doing this now? And then who are our competitors? So these are very important areas that we need to address.
Next week on Startup, our guest mentor Heath and the judges continue to review the startup's performances.
All right, Leslie, I know that fashion is your thing.
Thank you, Parcel Perform, for that wonderful pitch. But as is very common with this type of pitch, just showing what the ideal solution will look like may not be enough.
Plus, it's time for the startups to face their first challenge.
My name is Max. I'm the CEO of this company.
Do you want something from me?
Yeah, sure. I want you to share this marvelous idea pickback with all the person you know.
And why are you telling me this?
Because you look like a guy who gets around a lot.
Hi.
Hi, yo.
This is a party I'm planning. You should come. It's the end of the challenge.
Okay. Good job.
Oh my god.